What up, though? So, as you all know, the Steam Machine prices and when it's going to officially go on sale has been released. Today is Tuesday. Yesterday they released it on June 22nd, 2026, which was a Monday. And, before y'all even came here, y'all got all the pricing, configurations, specs, all the different type of stuff. So we're not going to hash that. Y'all didn't come here for this. Y'all already viewed that somewhere else. I want to talk about a couple of things that kind of made me mad with Steam. Am I still excited for the Steam Machine? 200%. I just joined the wait list. I just joined the list for the 2 terabyte configuration without the controller, because as you know, I have a Steam controller that's over there on my husband's desk. And speaking of the Steam controller, my husband got on the wish list or wait list for the Steam controller after I had purchased mine and got mine delivered within record timing. I cannot complain about that. He got on the wait list back in May. When the Steam Machine was announced, literally yesterday, Monday, June 22nd, he finally got the email for him to purchase a Steam controller, which he did. He purchased a Steam controller. I gave that one to him that I bought. He's going to give the one to me that he bought. So he already paid for his. He just waiting for that to come in. But it took them a whole month to even send him the email saying that, okay, now you're able to purchase the Steam controller. And I'm curious, with you all out there, did you get on the wait list too? And then yesterday you finally got the email notification to purchase the Steam controller. And I called this with my husband. I said, because I was asking him like, dang, they didn't send you an email yet to purchase the Steam controller? He said no. And lo and behold, I said, look, watch, wait and see. They're not going to open it up for purchase until the Steam Machine come out. And boy, if I didn't call it. They didn't, at least with my husband. I don't know about everybody else downtown in those comments. Let me know if this is one of you guys. But they didn't allow him to purchase at least the Steam controller after he joined the wait list, after the initial push, until yesterday when they released the Steam Machine. And now I said that hopefully they would do some bundles. Because the article I read, y'all, from Polygon, I believe that was the article, one of the engineers had already said that the Steam Machine, Steam controller, Steam frame were all going to be released separately, and them being bundled was never in the cards. So the 4 configurations, the Steam Machine by itself or with the controller at the 512 gigabyte and then at the 2 terabyte, it makes sense to me because they had already previously told us that it was never meant to be sold together. So that was not a surprise to me. But what I didn't like is, obviously the price, but I called that too with my husband. I said it's going to be between $1,200 to $1,500, and he was thinking more of maybe at 1,000 or to like 700 to 1,000. That was his predictions. Now he would have been right if the AI boom wasn't here, because it seemed like from engineers that Linus Tech and IGN has spoken to that might have been the case. But AI and the way of how tech is going, the prices are where they at now because of the AI boom. So I called that with my husband once again. I don't know if I mentioned it here on YouTube on one of my videos, but I said it was going to be about between $1,200 and $1,500, and lo and behold, that's where we're at right now. And one of my issues that I have with Steam, I don't know if I got 2 or 3, but I at least got two I know of that I can think off the top of my head right now. One of the issues is that they should have released the price sooner. It wasn't a mystery that the prices were going to be out of control. We already knew that by PlayStation, Xbox doing 2 increases on their 6 something odd years hardware. We knew that it was going to be outrageous. We knew the price was going to be ridiculous because of what PlayStation and Xbox did. Now, Nintendo seems to be the only company that didn't go stupid on the price increase, but people were already complaining about the initial prices. And I think what Nintendo did is that they already, in my opinion, I think they already increased their price. So when they released it, that was the increased price. And then they upped it only $50 because they already initially increased the price. Now, I thought Nintendo was going to start lowering the game prices, which it seems like they did with the digital and physical releases. But then Fire Emblem came out, and it's like, oh, wait a minute. Fire Emblem came out. And then now we know that The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, if Fire Emblem is at $80, Ocarina of Time for sure is going to be at $80. And then GTA 6, if those prices are correct, and we'll find that out on the 25th, if those prices are correct, the rumors, then that's going to be an avenue for Nintendo with Ocarina of Time to justify the pricing on that. A lot of people saying that Fire Emblem, it depends. You got hardcore fans with anything, and then you got people who looking like, well, it's not that many hardcore fans for that. But hey, it is what it is. But that's my issue, is that the Steam machine pricing, y'all should have hit us over the head with that in February instead of hitting us with it now, because y'all knew what y'all had to do with that pricing ahead of time. Y'all more tapped into the market than any of us on the outside is. Now, maybe some YouTubers who are tapped in. I'm certainly not one of them. But for someone outside looking in and looking at all the other industries and the where they're going, all the other consoles and the where they're going, PC prices. Heck, I just did a video about the Switch 2, the Lexar Play Pro 1TB SD card, where at Costco's it's $180, but on Amazon it's still $350. So we know where this is going. You should have hit us over the head with it back in February and opened it up for the wait list much sooner. I think waiting just didn't do them justice. Waiting so long to hit us with that price didn't do us justice. I think if they would have hit us with the price way back in February, when we got to this point to get on the wait list right now, people could have saved up money and prepared for it, and it would have came out before Summerfest, Nintendo Direct, and PlayStation State of Play, the Xbox showcase. It would have came out before the pricing, at least would have came out before then, so people can get their money right. We living in an economy that is terrible right now for a lot of people, and a lot of people who use gaming as an escape, and that should have been a thought process, or should have been considered within the thought process of when they was going to release the pricing. The pricing, to me, it makes sense because of what AI is doing to the market right now. But for a lot of people who can't afford it, like my husband and I, it doesn't make sense for them. And it's hard for them to justify spending that kind of money all at one time. I believe I said on this channel when I was talking about the SD cards, how spending a little bit of money here, a little bit of money here, a little bit of money here, instead of dropping a lot of money all at one time, it's much softer on the psyche. Not necessarily on the wallet, because it's still gonna cost you the same amount, but on the psyche, it's much softer. And I think if Steam would have released the price back in February and then open it up for the wish list now, it would have been much softer on the psyche, because people could have prepared to purchase and saved up money and put money aside. And now it feels, I don't know, this feels a little bit rushed, because because my husband and I, we were thinking about waiting, but we was like, no, let's go ahead and just get on the wait list, because it seems like, depending on what he just went through with the Steam controller, it might be months from now before we even get the email to say, hey, it's your time to purchase it, based on his experience on that wait list for the Steam controller. So today I went on ahead and got the 2 terabyte configuration. That's $13.49, because I already have a Steam controller and my husband already has a Steam controller, so it doesn't make any sense to get any other configurations with the Steam controller. Back when if we didn't have one, then yes, it would have made sense. I wish they would have did at least a two Steam controller bundle, what have you. But we didn't go for the 512, because I mean, that's just stupid. That's my other grab. We're gonna get to that, but let me go back to hitting us over the head early on, so people can get their money right, or at least set some aside and still have enough time even after, being on the wait list or what have you. Because all of these games, I mean, all the games that's come, it's a lot of games coming out that people want to purchase. And by you not coming out with the price, or even selling it early, doing this way back in February, now people are going to have to choose between sticking with what they got and picking up the games that they want, or sacrificing a couple of games that they really wanted and then picking up the Steam machine, or sacrificing games altogether and picking up the Steam machine, or sacrificing picking up the Steam machine to just rock out with the games they want. So Steam, I think, kind of shot themselves in the foot by not just being honest with us from the get-go and releasing this way back when and hitting us over with the price, so people could properly prepare for what's now, because everything is just so close together. You have all these games that's coming out that people were highly in anticipation for, on top of being in high anticipation of the Steam machine and wanting the Steam machine. And now you put people between a rock and a hard place, trying to choose and not being able to properly plan and budget for these pricings. First gripe. Second gripe is the configurations. 512. Come on, man. You know what this reminds me of? Apple doing that stupid stuff when they was releasing iPhones at 64 gigs, and then the next configuration was 256 gigs. It's like, why don't we have the middle ground? Or why you just don't start at 128 and then it's 256? Who in their right mind, except your big mama or your mama, should not even your mama, buying a 64 gigabyte iPhone, or any phone at that? It's like, come on, man. What am I gonna download? 3 games? If you that type of gamer, what are we doing? If you that type of gamer, because you gotta think, you're not just downloading the game, you have to back up your save files and all that other kind of stuff. So it's initially the game and then your saves. And it's like, man, 512 for real? You couldn't come out with a 512, a 1 terabyte, and then a 2 terabyte? You jump from a 512 to a 2 terabyte configuration? It's just giving me those Apple vibes. And that is so freaking irritating. That's my other gripe. I just can't believe they would do something like that. I mean, the pricing, it is what it is. I don't blame Valve for the pricing. I just blame them for not taking in consideration what it would mean later on down the line. And maybe they didn't think that there was a lot of games, bangers, I should say, a lot of bangers coming out literally in the month of September. But I think they should have ripped the band-aid off back in February so people can properly plan for what's now. It's like they chose the worst timing ever multiple times. Multiple times they chose the worst timing ever. Downtown in those comments is a way to my love, and while you down here, freak that like button and let's have a conversation. What do you guys think about the pricing? Are you still excited to get a Steam machine? And do you agree or disagree that maybe they should have just went on ahead, at least gave us pricing and everything beforehand, in a possible month, I should say, like June 2026, we're going to be opening it up for purchases. Do you think that the blow that's being received right now would have been much easier to digest, especially for those individuals that feel that they now are priced out from getting a Steam machine? Because I've been seeing, I was watching Asmon Gold, and he was watching Linus Tech talk about the Steam machine, and basically saying that the Steam machine is really not that much more powerful, probably even less powerful than the PS5. And for PC gamers that's already in the game, it kind of doesn't make sense for them to pick up a Steam machine. And it kind of doesn't make sense for people who are trying to get into PC gaming not to pick up a Steam machine, but to instead look into either purchasing a pre-built gaming PC, or to take the money that they have, that they probably was going to spend on a Steam machine, and build their own gaming PC, a budget-friendly gaming PC. And I think Gamers Nexus, I can't recall the name, I think it's Gamer Nexus, I think that's the YouTube channel, did a configuration that was stronger than the Steam machine, like a budget-friendly mock-up for a better Steam machine, so to speak. So I mean, it's up to you. Buy what you buy, get what you get. I was originally, when I was talking to my husband, we was gonna get the 512 and just throw in an SD card. And I, like, for the SD card, can you use the one that you put in the Steam, like the Switch 2? Is it the same one? Is it compatible with that one, or do you just need a regular SD card? It seems like a regular SD card might not be fast enough or powerful enough, or however you want to call it. I think the one you put on this in the Switch 2, if it's compatible, would be the micro SD card you would put in there. But that's a good thing that you can expand the storage with the SD card slot, or even actual SSD at the end of the day. But we were gonna get the 512 and just do it that way. But then my husband said somebody had already pulled it up and discovered that the base model, I don't even know if you would call that a base model, because all three of them had the same configuration. I guess the lower storage option model is already sold out per se. And I was like, how is it already sold out if it's on if you join a wait list? But we decided together that we're going to get on a wait list for the 2 terabyte without the controller. We're going to rock out that way. And I mean, just let me let me know downtown in those comments what you guys think, because I just think, like, I want to support, my husband and I want to support Val. They have, with this Steam machine, given the consumers more freedom than a lot of companies have, and we want to continue to support that. We understand that it's not their fault about the pricing. I just wish they would have just kept it straight up with us from the beginning with, because they already knew about this pricing, and it would have been much of a lighter blow, and it would have been smoothed over by now if they would have just hit us with it up front. I understand they were trying to wait it out, but I mean, come on now. We saw how the market was faring. We saw how the economy was faring. Ain't no way that those prices was going to go down in that short of a period of time. So they just should have at least released the price and let everybody know that June 2026, maybe not an actual date, but June 2026, the device was going to be up for sale. That's my opinion. And I don't know what you guys think. Let me know downtown in those comments. Don't forget your keys, your wallet, and your phone on your way out.